Have you ever helped a complete stranger with no idea that it could completely change your life forever? This is the true story of Emily Carter, a struggling single mom who paid for an old man's groceries. And hours later, 3 black SUVs showed up at her door. What happened next will leave you in tears. In the bustling aisles of a small-town supermarket in suburban Ohio, Emily Carter hurried through her weekly shopping routine. At 28, Emily was a single mother juggling 2 jobs, a barista at the local coffee shop by day and a freelance graphic designer by night. Her life was a whirlwind of bills, diaper changes for her 2-year-old son, Liam, and the constant ache of missing her late husband, who had passed away in a car accident 3 years earlier. Money was always tight, but Emily's heart was rich with compassion, a trait instilled by her own grandmother who had raised her after her parents' abandonment. A crisp autumn afternoon, the store was alive with the hum of scanners and chatter. Emily pushed her cart toward the checkout, her items modest: a loaf of bread, milk, some canned soup, and a small treat for Liam, a pack of animal crackers. As she unloaded her groceries, she noticed the elderly man in line ahead of her. He was frail, his hands trembling as he fumbled through a worn leather wallet. His clothes were clean but threadbare, and his eyes held a depth of sorrow that tugged at Emily's soul. The cashier, a young woman named Mia, scanned his items: a few apples, a carton of eggs, bread, and a modest bouquet of wilted daisies. The total came to $27.45, but the man could only muster $20 in crumpled bills and loose change. "I'm sorry, sir," Mia said softly, her voice laced with empathy. "It's a bit short." The old man's shoulders slumped, his voice cracking like dry leaves underfoot. I thought I had enough. These flowers, they're for my wife's grave. Today's our anniversary. She loved daisies." His words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken grief. The line behind him shifted uncomfortably, but Emily felt a pang in her chest, a familiar echo of her own loss. Without a second thought, she stepped forward, her heart pounding with a mix of nervousness and resolve. "I'll cover the difference," Emily said, her voice steady despite the knot in her throat. She pulled out her debit card, knowing it would stretch her already thin budget even thinner. "Please, let me help." The man turned to her, his blue eyes widening in surprise. "Young lady, you don't have to do that. I can put something back." "No," Emily insisted, a gentle smile breaking through her fatigue. "Everyone deserves a little kindness, especially on a day like today. Consider it a gift from one stranger to another." As Mia processed the payment, the man clasped Emily's hand, his grip surprisingly firm. "God bless you, miss. My name's Robert Jenkins. You've restored a bit of faith in this old heart." Tears glistened in his eyes, and Emily felt her own welling up. She nodded, whispering, "Take care, Mr. Jenkins," before gathering her bags and heading out into the fading daylight. Back home in her modest 2-bedroom apartment, Emily tucked Liam into bed after a simple dinner of soup and crackers. The evening slipped into night, the weight of the day pressing on her. She sat on the couch, scrolling through job listings on her laptop, her mind racing with worries. How would she pay next month's rent? Liam's daycare fees were overdue, and her car needed repairs. But amid the anxiety, a warm glow lingered from her act of kindness, a reminder that even in darkness, small lights could shine. Hours later, as the clock ticked past 8 p.m., Emily heard the low rumble of engines outside. Peering through the curtains, her heart skipped a beat. 3 sleek black SUVs pulled up to her curb, their tinted windows reflecting the streetlights like ominous shadows. Her pulse quickened. Who could this be? Had she done something wrong? Memories of thriller movies flashed in her mind, mysterious vehicles signaling danger, kidnappings, or worse. She grabbed her phone, fingers trembling as she dialed 911, but hesitated to press call. "Stay calm," she whispered to herself, glancing at Liam's door. Protecting him was her everything. The doors of the SUVs opened in unison, and several men in dark suits stepped out, their postures alert and professional. Emily's breath caught in her throat. One of them, a tall figure with a stern expression, approached her front door. Her mind raced. Was this about the grocery store? Had the old man been some sort of con artist? Or worse, was her kindness misinterpreted as something suspicious? She backed away from the window, her chest tightening with fear. The knock came firm, insistent. "Ms. Carter," a voice called from outside. Swallowing hard, Emily cracked the door open, chain still latched. Who are you? What do you want?" The man at the door softened his gaze. "Ma'am, we're not here to harm you. Mr. Robert Jenkins sent us. May we come in? He insists it's important." Emily's confusion deepened, mingling with a flicker of relief. "Mr. Jenkins?" The old man from the store. Hesitantly, she unlatched the door, her hands clammy. The men entered respectfully, one of them carrying a polished briefcase. "Please have a seat," the lead man said. "My name is Thomas Reed, head of security for Jenkins Enterprises. What would you do if 3 mysterious black SUVs pulled up outside your house late at night? Would you open the door or call the police?" Emily's heart was racing. She thought her life was in danger, but what happened next? No one saw coming. Keep watching, you won't believe the twist. As Emily sat on her worn couch, her mind whirled. Jenkins Enterprises? The name rang a bell. The massive tech conglomerate worth billions, known for innovative software and philanthropic ventures. But what did that have to do with the frail old man she'd helped? Thomas opened the briefcase, revealing documents and a sleek envelope. "Mr. Jenkins is not just any elderly gentleman," he explained, his tone reverent. "He's the founder and CEO of Jenkins Enterprises. For years, he's lived modestly, disguising himself to test the true character of people in everyday situations. Today, you passed his test with flying colors." Emily's eyes widened, tears pricking at the corners. I had no idea. I just saw someone in need." Thomas nodded, a small smile breaking his professional facade. "That's precisely why he's chosen you. Mr. Jenkins lost his wife, Elena, 5 years ago to cancer. Since then, he's been searching for genuine kindness in a world that often feels cold. Your act touched him deeply, reminding him of Elena's own generosity." From the envelope, Thomas pulled out a check. Emily gasped as she saw the amount, $100,000. "This is for you," he said, "to help with whatever burdens you're carrying, but there's more, Mr. Jenkins wants to offer you a position at his company, a graphic design role with full benefits, flexible hours for your son, and a starting salary that will change your life." Overwhelmed, Emily clutched the check, tears streaming down her face. "Why me? I didn't do it for any reward." "That's exactly why," Thomas replied gently. "In a sea of indifference, you chose compassion. Mr. Jenkins also asked me to give you this." He handed her a small, velvet box. Inside was a delicate gold necklace with a daisy pendant, a symbol of the flowers he'd bought for his wife. As the reality sank in, Emily's sobs turned to grateful whispers. She thought of Liam, sleeping peacefully, unaware of the miracle unfolding. This wasn't just money, it was hope reborn, a second chance at stability. The men from the SUVs weren't harbingers of doom, but angels in disguise, delivering a twist of fate that mended broken dreams. The next morning, Emily met Mr. Jenkins at his sprawling estate on the outskirts of town. He wasn't the frail man from the store. He stood tall in a tailored suit, his eyes sparkling with vitality. "Emily," he said, embracing her like a long-lost daughter, "you've given me more than you know. In helping me, you healed a part of my soul." They talked for hours, sharing stories of loss and resilience. Mr. Jenkins revealed his own hardships, building his empire from nothing, only to face loneliness after Elena's death. Emily opened up about her husband's accident, the endless nights of worry, and how one small act had sparked this incredible chain. Weeks turned into months. Emily thrived in her new job, her creativity blooming under mentorship. Liam attended a top daycare, his laughter filling their upgraded home. Mr. Jenkins became a grandfather figure, joining them for holidays and sharing wisdom that mended Emily's heart. But the true magic lay in the ripple effect. Inspired by her story, Emily started a community fund, paying forward the kindness. Strangers helped strangers, a chain of compassion that spread like wildfire. Mr. Jenkins, too, found renewed purpose, establishing scholarships in Elena's name. Years later, as Emily watched Liam graduate high school, she reflected on that fateful day. One act of empathy had transformed despair into joy, proving that in life's unpredictability, kindness is the greatest superpower. Tears of gratitude flowed freely, not from sorrow, but from the profound beauty of human connection. And so, in a world often shadowed by doubt, remember, a simple gesture can summon miracles. It can bring SUVs to your door, not with fear, but with fortune. It can turn strangers into saviors and pain into purpose. Emily's story isn't just hers, it's a beacon for us all, whispering that goodness always finds its way home. If a small act of kindness could bring miracles like this into your life, when was the last time you helped someone without expecting anything back? Drop your story in the comments below. I read every single one. Let's spread more kindness together. If this story touched your heart, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more real stories that restore your faith in humanity.